876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. Let's go back to the phone lines. Thanks for holding. All right. Hold a moment. Sorry. Just a moment. Let's bring up the audio. Just a moment. Where is it? Let's do this. Got you. Yes, go ahead now, please.
Right. So I'm just thinking that when you're making changes that are gonna affect people, you should give more ample. You should give more time. As you know, here in the U.S., there's a thing now that was advertised way I think doing before COVID. Your license, your regular license, I think they have postponed it two times already because people didn't have the information. I don't know. Some people, listen to I don't read information, so I don't know why they wouldn't have heard. But during COVID, they had postponed because of COVID. The DNV was being very impacted by COVID, so they had postponed this thing where your license has to be you have to move it up, validate it with your passport. You have to go in DNV and all that stuff, and they had postponed it. This was announced like 3 years ago. I think like 3, 4 years ago. They had postponed it because people, for some reason, one is COVID. After COVID, the DNB is still impacted, but they give people ample time. And this is what I think what I difference I find with Jamaica. The Jamaican government seems to be they are known something and you should get it right away. And unfortunately, especially the older people, elderly, you gotta make what you call it, you gotta make it convenient, especially for elderly people, because they're done with this. We may think it's easy to go online and fill this out and get a app and download on your phone. But the elderly people, Dervan, they don't get it sometimes. I'm talking about people even in their 60s.
So what is required?
So
Because you're not going to get away from that. What is required is for there to be a core, a body of people whose responsibility it is to assist senior citizens and all other vulnerable individuals within that space.
agree, and that should be probably part of it. And by the way, the Jamaican diaspora and the council and the people in these diaspora, I think if they were in touch, especially if they were in touch with the people over here more, and especially with the elderly, I think they could be a perfect group to make sure these people have a device, have something that they can, if they can't do it, they turn them on to someone that probably can do it. It could be church group also. Church is probably the next perfect place. If you're involved in a church, these are the things, especially in the Caribbean community, we always return back home. It could be once a year, twice a year, 3 times a year. Even in the churches, give them information. If they're elderly and you know that they probably don't have the device, I have knowledge how to do it, just show them or do it for them. But I think ample time is kind of key. You need to give like at least situation like this at least 3, 4 months. You put it out there in the year space. You put it online. Let the groups know. That's for people come on your show, talk about it, go on the program and talk about it. What's gonna happen, and you need to have these things in place in order when you travel. So when you get to the airport, you don't surprise.
Yeah, well, they will always have contingencies, but it's just a matter of I if you're going to make changes, you want to do so in a way that doesn't upend everything to the point where people are lost and not sure what to do, where to go, and how to do. So
Right.
that's
You
important.
want when you get to the airport, you want it smooth as possible, and I think it's a good thing. I think everything should be online right now. I don't know why people still fill out paper. It's a good thing, but give it some more time. Send information out there. Like right now, I'm looking for app. I don't
Well,
know. I
well,
don't see app. So
well, I was just in Florida. Uh, how long ago was that? Last week, a few days ago,
yeah, last week.
last week,
Yeah.
and I took note of the fact that the team, the ground, uh, the team on the ground uh, did a kind of a trial because apparently we're now at the stage when because of our 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 biometric data is in the system of these airlines, these and of these uh, uh, visa providers and so
Right.
on and so on. All our bio data is there. So what they did when we were boarding the flight to go to Florida last week, what they did was to ask us to stand at a particular point, and there was a scanner of sorts, some kind of detector that was set up. So you just stepped up. So normally you would show your boarding pass, and you would have your
Yes.
passport in hand as well. So as it was last week, they didn't do, they just said, okay, this is what you're going to do. We need you to just stand here and look into the camera and
Mhm.
and come right ahead or something like that.
Right. Everything comes up. I did that when I was coming down from JFK too. Everything comes up. Everything in the passport comes up about you already.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where we're going.
But it's the same
So yeah,
thing.
definitely.
It's the same thing with the kiosks, KIOSKS, the
Mhm.
kiosks that they have at the airports as well, that all your information comes up once you scan the passport. So it's
Yeah, but
go ahead.
when I came down the last time, they didn't let us use it, and it was a big thing. They said it
Well,
was going to
maybe
be a
maybe
normal.
maybe it wasn't working.
Yeah, well, all of them they didn't let us use them. Period. And everybody has to try to fill out the form, all right? When you get down to immigration, and it was a big. Oh my God! I think I spent like almost 2 hours down there. Um, you know, so for me, I wasn't. Coming home, it wasn't. Big. Once I know I landed safe in my own country, it wasn't a big deal. But for me, I was like, just imagine coming on a vacation for a week. That's a first experience, into a foreign land. That's not something I look forward to. So I just think that it's a good thing using the computer and using the phone. As you know, the phone in your hand is a computer. Apps, you need to have an app. If you have an app, it's beautiful. By the way, I think the airline. What I think you could inform the airline when you're buying a ticket. Um, I don't know. Let them put up some flags, and everybody goes online to buy a ticket. Let them know that's the procedure. That's one of the things also. I don't know how the government can do that, but let the airline knows that's a procedure. When you buy the ticket online, when so you know that you have to fill it out in advance on your computer. I would prefer if you have an app. But these are the things I think will alleviate the hiccups, from happening. Because most people traveling overseas,
Well, what will help
a lot of them.
too is the availability of Wi-Fi, because invariably you have a situation where you are not able to, by the time you remember about the C5 form that you need to fill in,
Mhm.
you are in a space where there is no internet service, and so that
Right. So
is
I
key.
was talking. I was talking about the fact that when you're buying the ticket online, I would hope maybe it's there, but sometimes these things are so fine. Most people are reading. But I hope that the airline would put up a flag somewhere where you could see it. I don't know if you could put up in yellow or red that you need to fill out this form prior to coming to Jamaica on your phone, or put up even where you can find the app, put up where you can find the website. You know, I'm just I don't think that things can be easier than people make it to be. That's my thinking. But a lot of times people don't bother to go that route. They don't bother to just put one extra step in things to make things easier, Dervan. And I think that's a problem a lot of times. People just don't bother to do it. So if you buy the ticket, see the flags, you know that you have to go on your phone, find the app, download the app. Or if you don't want to go on your phone, you go on your computer, find the website, and fill the form out a couple of days before you come in Jamaica. I don't know. So we don't let them know where you're coming with, to make sure put a listing too. By the way, that stuff you can't bring in. I think that probably on the farm, but I don't know.
Well, still a lot to be done to to make the process and the procedures as fluent as possible. Hopefully, we get it together sooner than later.
Yeah. In the meantime, can you find out our next when it comes on? I don't know, probably next week. To find out if there's an app and if not,
There's no app.
There's an app coming soon.
There's no app. Whether or not it's coming soon remains to be seen. But there's no app at the moment.
Wow. I think that's going to be a problem because a lot of people do now. A lot of people tend to have a PC. Why? Because you can do everything on your phone. You know, some people just have a PC, Dervan, and I think they should have wait until they have the app up running. That's what I think. Anyhow, what it is, what it is.
We hear you loud and clear. Thank you very much for your perspective.
Yeah, Dervan, take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
Dervan Sharika Jackson is the fastest woman on earth over the 200 meters since God made man. She ran the second fastest time in history. Isn't that beautiful, Dervan?
Indeed it is.
But Dervan, she took off the wig. She took off the wig today and in the semi-final yesterday. The wig.
Mm-hmm.
It seems as if the wig messed her up in the 100 meter. That's my opinion.
That
The wig
it impeded the aerodynamics, is that it?
Yes, Professor.
Mm.
Tell the people what aerodynamics is, no, Professor. Hey, there's enough thing what people don't know, you know. Yeah, I tell you. There's one the CXC results.
Yes.
Improvement in all subject area, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And maths went up by about 6%. I tell you, most of the children who had feared maths,
Mm-hmm.
they get either a grade 3. But a lot of ones coming out of St. Andrew High School for girls. A lot of ones coming out of Immaculate and Campion. Third one,
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica children, they are gifted, you know.
Of course.
And let me ask you this, big and serious. You think the politics of Jamaica is stifling the true potential of the Jamaican people, Dervan? Careful how you answer me.
Now, hold a moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15. The Ministry of Labor and Social Security, as part of the transformation process, is upgrading its telephone infrastructure. Members of the public are advised that during the
leaders. Donate to educate. Visit 212-759.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Cleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Thank you very much for holding, Mr. Carter.
Yes, Mr. Malcolm, I'm asking you as a man that I look up to for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Do you think that the politics of Jamaica is anywhere, shape, or form hindering the true growth of the Jamaican people?
It depends on what you're looking for to be able to state that definitively. But the fact of the matter is, it is incumbent on parents, guardians.
For the garrisons or the inner city as they call it.
Clearly, there's no, it would be happening.
Oh, when I trampose places like Cherry Gardens, New Kingston, Mona Heights, Norbrook, way up in the hills, Millsboro, I noticed that there's swimming pools in a lot of yards up there. One of my billionaire friends who lives in New Kingston, when I went to his house, he had a swimming pool in the middle of his house. The first I ever see that with my naked eye. That's when I went in there. The kitchen is beside the swimming pool. In the middle of the house of Beverly, a cherry garden, in a Dervan. Why is it that we can't build a swimming pool in places like Arnett Gardens and maintain it so that that water therapy has an impact on your aggression, Dervan? Water.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Dervan, you see, when we work hard for one day and stress, the best thing that cool me down in the night is to have what they call dark shower. Just go in the shower and turn off all of the lights and just be there and meditate while you're under the shower. And it makes me sleep like a baby, Dervan. Dark shower. There's something about water. Why is it that we can't, like how we have violence in like Arnett Garden Sports Complex? Why we can't build a nice swimming pool down there so that people can go and have them like a swimming and the football team swim and they have pool party to cool down the area and do the same thing in a place like Denham Town and Greenwich Town in those garrisons, in those zones that's part of the build back phase to see if we can captivate more youth towards.
Because people are constantly calculating the risk.
Risk?
Because if the area has become volatile, then that is going to become the main bugbear.
Not understanding it clearly, Professor.
The volatility of the area. There are people run away or walk wide or stay far from volatile areas.
Oh, so the area where you live, as you tell me one time, it block your growth.
Yes, it's
stifle, compromise, as you said, compromise everything.
That's the thing. So the challenge now is, how do you flip it? How do you transform it in a way that would cause people to come back? It's like what is being tried with downtown Kingston, for example.
I'm going to give you analysis, you see?
Yes.
All right, Sharika Jackson, she won the 200 meter and she came second in the 100 meter, right? And based on my calculation, the amount of money that she got for those two events is about 17 million, right? That is just for two races, right?
Yes.
You see, the top racehorse that came on a spark last year was a horse name, was a filly, a female horse.
Yes.
Name, the one I remember the big filly name, but it is owned by a Jamaican senator, owned the horse, right?
Yes.
And it is bred by a Jamaican politician, right? And that horse for the entire year, didn't earn 12 million for the year, you know. But one of our athletes now earning approximately 17 million in 2 years. Don't that tell you a comparison about the creativity and the productivity of the human capital in Jamaica? So why is it that Dervan, Someone with our mind, and we crabs in a barrel, Dervan. Talk to me, no, man.
No,
But I'll find out some secret of the culture before me, then, you know. Because we have a cultural problem here.
Yeah, part of it is you are when you find yourself in a position where everything is going your way and things are working out as you would want them to, you then want more, and you not necessarily more of the same. You want something else, or you want to do something else. You want to take on something else.
Thank you. More.
Mm-hmm.
You see that more than what you talk about? That is part of our problem, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, based on by the way, they asked me Atomica.
Atomica. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the big failure came on a spot named Atomica, owned by Dan Webby and bred by Carl Samuda. Okay? And that asked for the entire year. Didn't earn what Sherika Jackson earned in 2 years. So the human capital, that's for sure you say, in 2 years, in less than a week, less than 9 days, we can earn what a racehorse earns for a year if we invest properly in our people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the CXC result of this year, coming out of the pandemic, is the best it has ever been in the Caribbean, you know, Dervan, for the last 3 years, you know.
Yeah.
And what the riches down there, Dervan?
Mm-hmm.
Dervan, you know what I'm saying? Never leave you with this. You know what I'm saying? I'm a millionaire. And it's different from a man with $1 million, though.
Yes.
I'm never tell you why I said that.
Uh-huh.
Never ask you this, though. You can check the buttons. You sit in front of a computer at daytime, Mr. Malcolm.
During this program, yes.
Okay. Tell me, based on your knowledge or your research, 2.8 million people live in Jamaica. You think most of the adults, 18 and over, have $1 million savings put down anywhere in a bank, credit union, or under the mattress?
I haven't done the research. I haven't heard of any research along those lines.
Well, I do have $1 million. I do have $1 million in cash save, Dervan, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we drop dead right now from any one of 9 diseases, you see, my spouse going to get $5 million from Sagicor, and I do have $1 million save up, right? And I can earn, if we operate off of a free tracker, I can earn $1 million quicker than the man who have $1 million in their bank book. You can believe that, Dervan.
Oh.
Most of us, you know, Dervan, we do have the money saved up, you know, but we have the money in our skill set that we can earn it, you know. And we can produce it through voluntary work and help other people.
So part of our problem then is that we hide our light under a bushel.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you. Let me say, we can bring out something out of this, man. And we are doing it to one another.
Mm-hmm.
And we are destroying one another.
Yeah.
And we need to stop it, you know. I understand that one of the houses that burned down by south side.
One of the netballers was.
Yeah, is that a shame?
Mm-hmm.
That is a shame in the Dervan. I don't think they get me vexed in the country, you know. I make me know, say, me never caught, you know. Me supposed to help poor people, you know, until me dead. Because you see the money with the man talk about, and I have that Bank of Jamaica store up on the top about the physical money. We have to create our own money through human capital and make them know, say, our existence bigger than for the paper money, you know. Because once you put the children out there, you know, who can live here, migrate, and go for fun, go earn money, and money never dead until the man get in a Dervan.
Mm-hmm.
Dervan, you know that money never dead until the person dead. So if I can do a hour voluntary work every day to help some young boys and young girls to get 5 CXC and some tape and to help some small businesses grow. Voluntary, you know, when them businesses start grow, money ever come back to you, Dervan. Don't it?
True. Because he would have sown the seeds.
Let me tell you, sir, your program both sides of the story, Dervan. Are you invented?
No, actually.
Who invented this program?
Former general manager, general manager and managing director of Power 106 FM, Mr. Newton James.
Oh, that man was a great man.
Yes.
Dervan, your producer told me that there's a cabinet up by RJR Greener Group and one down by North Street where we can buy memorabilia from personnel on the show. You have any in the cabinet, Dervan?
Oh, that's news to me. I'll have to check.
We need, we have to order something from you. We need a kerchief from you with your signature and the logo both sides of the story, Power 106. Like when you see on your uniform thing for part of my memorabilia. And you know, when it's ready, you just call me and tell me the price. You know, and you buy your kerchief and you sell them. I want something to start putting on the private memorabilia thing when I go set up, when we can meditate on as we go through the ages. You know, because the country has to fix it, Dervan.
Yeah.
And it has to fix before Jesus come. And the young people, one of them live at Southside and Gregory Park and Riemann Jungle. And the old people, we have to go protect them with our skill and a voluntary basis still is dead. Because the politics now include them in a nothing as far as me. So the little scraps is whatever. Sure, you know that the long jumpers then, that is down in Hungary now, the long jumpers, a national coach didn't go with them in a Dervan. Because they didn't have a national coach, but they have the personal coach that they pay out of them pocket. You know that none of them got the per diem from the government.
Hold a moment, please.
As of September 1, 2023, incoming air passengers must complete their C5 form online at enterjamaica.com. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency and the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency is 3:13.
Well, I haven't been able to follow the World Athletics Championships as usual because of work and the absence of a television monitor closer to us inside the studios here. But anyway, what happened with those athletes who
The long jumpers.
Yes.
It's the most successful long jumpers Jamaica has ever produced in the history. You know?
Mm-hmm.
They're doing exceptionally well. But what happens is that within the JFF didn't authorize a national coach.
JFF?
No, J3.
Oh, okay.
They didn't authorize a national coach to go with the long jumpers. Only the long jumpers and their personal coaches are there. Mm. But what have the other teams, like the relay teams, they have their national coach. And what are one of the benefits of having a national coach is that each player would get a certain amount of money in US dollar from the Ministry of Sports as their per diem. They help them out with the traveling and the meal, etc. And none of these athletes get the per diem because of that. All them things that are right, you know, is a jail chair. Any form of help or money that the children and the old people and the citizens of Jamaica earn with the blood, sweat and tears and the tax money, you must spend it on them, you know, man. And see to it that them go good enough.
But we are an established power when it comes to athletics in particular, sports in general. So you would imagine that by now we are also experts in terms of managing athletes, managing the affairs that are connected with the field of sports, the business of sports, etc. If we are still failing in that department at this stage, as I watch the flag waving, celebrating Jamaican supporters on the TV from a distance, uh, it's really a shame that we're still having these problems. It's like a niggling pain that won't go away.
Yes, Dervan. Because we need to use the sports and fight the crime. And we need to use the sports and unite the people around a common cause. Mr. Malcolm, take care of your program and set up the kerchief thing for me. Yeah, please and thanks. All the best there.
All right. Thanks for calling. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. We have a few messages left over from yesterday, plus the ones that came in today. Let's see how quickly we can go through them. Good afternoon. What is the wait time if your child is in the forces and apply for your papers? Well, I think this was meant for Delia Walker Huntington on your legal corner yesterday afternoon between 3:30 and 4. We'll see if we can get that message to her. This one says, hi, Mr. Malcolm. I want to know if my sister can file for me like how I am married. That's another one to send to Delia Walker Huntington. And Kevin Galloway has shared a couple of links. We haven't had the opportunity to check just yet. Neil Curtis of Farm Up Jamaica is still doing what he does best and keeping us in the loop. Thank you very much, Neil Curtis. We see you. Diana McIntyre Pike has shared some information with us as well. And it's quite a bit we're going through just to make sure we don't miss the messages. Patrick Howell sent us one, giving my best to the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir. That was shared by him. Franklin McDonald in Guelph, Canada, has sent us the Intelligence, the Economist Daily podcast. Yes, I think I get one of those every day as well. Another good resource you can use to keep abreast, he says. Their free podcasts are all so good today. They released one on investment in higher education. Well, we'll check that out a little later on. Thank you very much, Franklin McDonald in Guelph, Canada. Hello to Calvin in North York, Ontario, Canada, who is in touch with us as well. And David A. Dixon, how are you? It's been a while. Where did your message go? He says, pleasant Friday. Pleasant Friday to you too, David G. A. Dixon of the Half Moon Bay Fishermen's Cooperative. Another message, good day. Today is preparation day before the seventh day Sabbath. And this month, the 5th Bible month and the 8th Roman month. Thank you very much for sharing the information. Camille Hopwood says, good evening, Mr. Malcolm. We haven't had any internet in the Warminster district area. When you top up anything, a cable company run cable lines in the area, and since that, we can, is it can or cannot? We can't, let me try can't. We can't get on our phones or computer. That should be a cable company run cable lines in the area, and since then, we can't get on our phones or computers. Sorry to hear of that, Camille. have you shared your experience with your telecoms providers? That's important so that you're not just cursing them under the quiet or sharing the information for us to read on air, but that you are serious about them fixing the problem as a community. The onus is on you to lead in that regard. You have raw meat, so you have to seek the fire, Camille. We hope it works out. Please let us know how it goes. Cuban in Georgia says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. Jamaica is on the move again. Great running by all our girls and boys. Let your light shine for the world to recognize who we are. Sir Malcolm, what is the latest update on the SSL scandal? And did the Honorable St. Leopold get back his 12 million dollars from the company? Well, there's a dearth of information out there. We will have to keep probing and probing and probing until we get the information that we seek and get the questions that we have answered. Someone has posted, not sure who, it's the logo of JN, as in Jamaica National Group, is on this e-flyer. And the wording, Sherika Jackson, 200-meter record, 21.41, magic. And there's an emblem here as well. Well done, Sherika, and all our other athletes. Well done. And let's see who else is messaging us. Cherry Henry says, good day, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Have a great weekend. Same to you, Cherry Henry. Errol Townsend says, sister, filing for sister is going to take 20 years to come through. Oh, wow. That's quite a wait, isn't it? Quite a wait, W-A-I-T, which then becomes a weight, W-E-I-G-H-T. Oh, dear. We hope it works out. Velta Wilson says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and listeners. Hi, Velta Wilson. Faye Weller says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and faithful listeners. I'm here listening and busy preparing my meal. Really? What are you cooking, Faye Weller? Can you tell us? No, that might not be a good idea. That's going to make us hungrier. Violet White says, blessings on this lovely Friday afternoon, Dervan. Blessings to you too, Violet White. Natalie Winter from Washington Gardens says, hey, Dervan, have a wonderful day. Same to you, Natalie Winter. Thank you very much for your message. Keep those messages coming in. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Joan in Bermuda, I'm seeing that you are the source of the magic, the magic Sherika Jackson e-flyer. Thank you for sharing. It does indeed look quite magical. Thank you very much for sharing. Let's see. Bishop Douglas Gooden, always in touch with us. Thank you, Bishop. And all the best. Let's see. Who is this now? We're just trying to go through quite a few more messages. Reverend Delroy Harris, hope you're well. Vernon Darby also shared some information here. Empowering dreams. And I think we're going to leave that there for now. So those are just some of the messages that have come in so far. And we look forward to receiving a lot more. 876-365-3346 is the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. The Ricardo says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and viewers. Good afternoon, Ricardo. Thank you very much for staying in touch with us here on both sides of the story on Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Let's see if we can share with you some useful information here. So came across some of this information when I was doing some research. And it took us back to 1918. 1918 in Jamaica, 1918. The police arrested 452 people in North St. Catherine for breaches of the peace. Others were also arrested in North Clarendon and South St. Anne as a result of riots sparked by rumor that Black Police Constable MacDonald, who was caught recently in flagrante delicto in the servants' quarters of the home of Mr. Feng Shui and beaten by the householder and his Chinese friends, was killed and his remains sold as corned pork. That was fake news in Jamaica back in 1918. Fake news. One moment, please.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
For any project, ABC Electrical Sales has all your electrical supplies at the best prices. 8 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 754-3714. The time by ABC Electrical Sales is
3:45.
With over 40 years of record service, Lock Safe and Vault Limited is your trusted security provider. Get affordable prices on a wide variety of seals, garage doors, access control supplies, magnetic lock, fingerprint, weatherproof keypads, card access system, time attendance, power supplies, and exit buttons. Professional services provided. Visit 40 Shortwood Road, Kingston 8. Problem solved with Lock Safe and Vault.
Business is good when you're innovative and creative, when you embrace digital transformation, when you're a lifelong learner, when it is structured and resilient, when you're part of a community, when you do business anywhere, when you move from panic to passion, when you're with JBDC. Business is good. Whatever stage you're at in business, the Jamaica Business Development Corporation has effective solutions to help you succeed. JBDC, from concept to market.
No man is love. No man stands alone. Each man has a brother.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on both sides of the story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. There was, well, it looks like August is the traditional athletics month because it was in August on this day, 1952, that the Jamaican women's 4x100 relay team of Carmen Smith, Ouida Walker, Dorothy Yates, and Carmen Williams won the gold at the CAC Games at the National Stadium in Independence Park, St. Andrew, Jamaica. This was 1952. Just another reminder of our rich history in the area of general, but in particular, track and field. 1952. Let's go to 1962, 10 years later. The 9th Central American and Caribbean Games ended at the National Stadium on this day in 1962 after having kicked off on August 11. Jamaica hosted athletes from 14 countries. Jamaican athletes distinguished themselves, winning many gold, silver, and bronze medals. It didn't start today or yesterday. We have been this way for a very long time, achieving greatness in the sporting arena and in particular track and field. Let's see. 1963, city auctioneer Leslie Alexander announced to a gathering at a meeting in George VI Memorial Park, now known as National Heroes Park, where a bust, B-U-S-T, of Marcus Garvey had been mounted, that arrangements were now being finalized by a Jamaican committee in London, headed by journalist Vivian Durham and another in Jamaica by himself, to bring home the body of Marcus Mosiah Garvey from London and to raise funds to erect a mausoleum in which to place his remains. Let's see. Let's go to another bit of the history for you. Let's see. Let's go to, since we're into sports right now, how about netball? Jamaica defeated Scotland 57-44 and retained its 5th place in the world at the Port of Spain Sports Complex in Trinidad in the 5th World Netball Tournament. Sonia Daly scores 33 goals from 52 attempts and Janet Johnson 24 of 36. And after playing in 3 previous World Netball tournaments, 1963 in England, 1970 in Jamaica, 1975 in New Zealand, Joy Charles played her farewell match for her country. And tragedy in 1980, 3 men were shot and killed and 18 people injured when a gang of men with machine guns raided a dance at the Barn Club on Brentford Road in Crossroads, St. Andrew. An enforcer submachine gun was found by the police in Waltham Gardens, St. Andrew. Still contending with these issues in Jamaica, land we love, even amidst the euphoria of the World Championships. So it is. 1987, author Vic Reed dies at the Hope Institute in St. Andrew at age 74. Born May 1st, 1913, his novels included New Day and The Leopard. He was recipient of the Gold and Silver Musgrave Medals and Norman Manley Award of Excellence in the field of literature. On this day in 2008, the Meteorological Service warned that Jamaica could be affected by outbreaks of showers tonight into tomorrow as Tropical Storm Gustav moved in a northwesterly direction. That was 2008. 2009, on the front page of the Gleaner, the story was Air J shells out big bucks. National carrier subleases 2 aircraft from American Airlines. Those were the years we were struggling to keep Air Jamaica flying. What a thing. Oh dear. I guess some people would say we were too bossy. How little bit of Jamaica to have this big airline. Anyway, it is what it is. Let's go to 2010. Nothing new was the headline of the Gleaner on this day in 2010. The headline summarized the government's reaction to the Manat, Phelps, and Phillips matter, which was connected to the Dudus affair. The opposition People's National Party said it was dissatisfied with the government's response to the latest development. On this day in 2011, 1 year later, Dudus strikes out U.S. Judge axes Coke's motion to suppress wiretap information. That was the main story on the front page of the Gleaner on this day in 2011. Jamaica's World Championship team members were also featured. 2012, Brace for Rain was the headline of the Gleaner on this day in 2012. The National Meteorological Service was urging Jamaicans not to take Tropical Storm Isaac lightly. There was also a story about students being barred for auxiliary fees and textbook prices up 5%. In 2013, the Sunday Gleaner on this day in 2013 had as its lead story a study which ranked Jamaica as the worst place for female entrepreneurs in the region. The Gleaner was also reporting that in a letter released to the public, former Finance Minister Audley Shaw had confirmed that he was considering a run at Andrew Holness's position as leader of the Jamaica Labour Party after developing concerns about the direction in which the party was being taken. 2014, on this day in 2014, the Gleaner's headline was "Help! Small businesses need urgent capital injection." The story quoted the Chief Executive Officer of Global Outsourcing Solutions, Go Solutions Limited, Dervan Crump, as saying he believed the government must move to provide small and medium enterprises with the necessary support services if it is to realize economic growth by 2030. 2015, dramatic pictures of Shelley Ann Fraser Price on the front page of the Gleaner on this day in 2015. It was a celebration of Fraser Price's victory in the 100-meter event at the World Championships at the Bird Nest Stadium in Beijing, China. 2016, the Gleaner's front page on this day in 2016 was CSEC Dilemma, Penwood students in limbo over ungraded SBAs, school-based assessments. Also on the front page of the Gleaner on this day in 2016, Reid addresses concerns regarding rollout of national standards curriculum. 2017, the headline on this day in 2017 in the Gleaner, corruption spree. That was the headline of the Gleaner on this day in 2017. The story was about the Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, allegedly allowing investigators to travel with applicants' files, plus information about a senior cop who pushed for a convicted man to get a licensed firearm. On this day in 2018, the Gleaner detailed the gruesome rape, murder, and subsequent burning of the body of a 14-year-old girl in Arnett Gardens. What a tragedy that was. May her soul continue to rest in peace. And the last one we're sharing for now, 2019, on this day in 2019, sexual harassment of hotel staff by unruly guests in Jamaica. That was the subject of the Gleaner's front page story on this day in 2019. Let's check in with some more of your messages. 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. That's the text line. The regular call-in numbers, 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. And our people have always been creative and continue to be creative, because back in 1939, S.B. Collymore, the sanitary inspector of Montego Bay, St. James, demonstrated a latrine seat he had designed, which opened by a catch which released a spring, and which, when closed, is fly-proof. What a thing. These days we go in and we use the toilet and we take it for granted. We not even a thought as to where we're coming from and what used to happen. But so it is. We evolve with time, don't we? And our creativity also evolves. All right, let's go back to taking more of your messages now. 876-365-3346. This one says, Sir Malcolm, our athletes have been doing us a very... All right, let's take the break and come back.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock. Starting Monday, September 4, your favorite nighttime talk show, Dear Pastor, will air at a new time, 9 to 11 p.m., Monday to Thursday. Join Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas as he answers your questions and entertains conversations on a range of issues. Spice up your evening with Dear Pastor right here on Power 106 FM, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 p.m. Starting Monday, September 4, it's nighttime talk radio at its best right here on Power 106 FM.
Thanks for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Now to the message from Cuban in Georgia. He says, Sir Malcolm, our athletes have been doing us a very good job on the tracks, but what has the sports authorities built to commemorate the achievements all of our athletes have given us, even though our downtime, but we've not seen any modern day facilities built to honor all the young athletes of Jamaica. The time has come for the sports authorities to come up with a multi-billion-dollar facility for our athletes. We have the lands and parking spaces for such facilities, says Cuban in Georgia. Thank you for your message, Cuban in Georgia. Hopefully commissioned and delivered. Let's see. David Crossburn, sorry we missed your call. I think you tried to reach us earlier on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number. And the stories are still being published as we speak. Jackson wins 200-meter gold in jaw-dropping run. Clocks the second fastest time in history. PB, championship record, national record, and she retains the world record, the world title. We certainly have a lot to be proud of in this country. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Here's David Crossburn, who was trying to get on earlier on. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Thank you. So I want to say a big thanks to the Guyanese Starbuck newspaper. They published an article for me yesterday, and I had a
that's the one. That's the article you had told us about.
Yes, they published it. Okay. There's the second article they are publishing for me now.
Very good.
What I noticed, indeed, what I brought to the attention, that we are being overlooked. And I can't understand why we are being overlooked, Dervan. Because here's it, the John Gladstone, seventh generation is in Guyana. The Guyana, the Marara estates are celebrating 200th anniversary of the violence there, the rebellion there. So they are there. But at the same time, no mention has been made that Gladstone owned and operated Holland and Lacova estate in St. Elizabeth. And it's so important because at Lacova is Tombstone. And Tombstone is the relative of Sir Winston Churchill is interred at Tombstone, and also the relative of Lady Diana. So
Lady Diana.
Yeah, the person is Spencer. Mm-hmm. The Spencer family interred there. Apparently, they were working on the Lacova estate, and there was a duel between the two gentlemen, and they both killed each other. But the bigger picture, Dervan, is that Lacova and Holland, together with the Marara estate in Guyana, they are responsible for John Gladstone to receive the fifth highest amount of the 20 million that was paid out. So they contributed significantly, and we cannot afford for us to be overlooked. So I just want for us as a people to keep this in mind, and each one of us is to raise our voices and demand that we be not passed by and be taken into consideration. It's not that we are preparing a needs list or anything like that. Far be it from that. But we made our contribution, and we are to be compensated. Would you agree?
Well, if that is the case, so be it.
Indeed. But I cannot understand how we are so lukewarm about it. I think the time has come for us to have a working group
I was about
You
to
are
ask you.
really,
I was about to ask you who should lead. Who are you looking to take the lead?
from my standpoint, when I consider the thing carefully, bear with me a minute. We are the seventh generation since the 1833 so-called emancipation. I don't really regard it as emancipation because Sam Sharp won the war, but Britain camouflage the emancipation. So we are the seventh generation. So it's a generation thing. I think it should be a Jamaica seventh generation working group. The seventh generation in a technical sense, the seventh generation would have started in 2018 because, as you know, a generation is 30 years. So the 30 years, the seventh generation from the point of emancipation would have started in 2018. Based on the United Nations quantification and their suggestion that the payments be made over a 25-year period, I don't want to jump the gun, but I think the payments could be made over 30 years. So it would be the 30-year period from 2025 to 2055. So that would be more or less generation 7, touching a little bit on generation 8. And rather than, right, the United Nations report is saying that the 6.1 trillion that is for Jamaica, if you divide that into the 30 year from 2025, it would roughly be 0.23 trillion. That would, and we all agree, all the generation 7 agree on all that expenditure is to be made. What are the key elements that we are going to agree for it? For both the persons, the 2.8 million persons in Jamaica, and those in the diaspora, we sit together, map out a clear thing, and I am not sure, I don't want Neville to comment on it. If it is a debit note that we are to forward to them, or is it a credit note? I'm not really certain, but I think it would be a debit note to England, Wales, Scotland, Spain, and France. Well, France, I qualify all France is involved. They are involved, but from a different angle, not from the direct operations of the trade. They are involved in another way. But I won't mention that now. I'll tell you at a later date. And then serve the debit note to these people and to let them know that this is what we are. The United Nations has signed up on it, and we are expecting for this. If I'm not expecting for them to respond positively to it, but my next move now, my next step, the Generation 7 next step would be to get Jamaica's debt to be
not the debt, get Jamaica's valuation, the Fitch and the rating agency to re-rate our ratings based on that 0.23 trillion annually for the next 30 years. Re-scope our ratings, and we go steadfast ahead and work locally within that rating to produce whatever we want. For example, I'll close it. For example, use the site at Heritage site at St. Anne, the and our functioning place that every Jamaican can have a hands-on working opportunity there, on the basis that our ratings now will not be on our present GDP, but on the 0.23 trillion annually. What's your thought?
No, well, if you have an established system or process or procedure that you think is workable, and that is not just workable but also deserving, then you go for it. I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a million. I deeply appreciate it. And I will be putting that forward, I may not explain myself properly, but I think from what I have studied the system, I know that we cannot depend on those we are expecting the compensation to come from. We have to take the initiative, because I've sat, I close. I've sat.
Hold a moment, please. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15. The Jamaica Customs Agency and the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency are advising that as of September 1, 2023, air passengers to Jamaica must complete their Immigration Customs Passenger Declaration or C5 form online at enterjamaica.com. Air passengers, go electronic with C5. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more details, you may contact the Jamaica Customs Agency at 876-922-5140 and the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency at 876-754-7422.
Your taxes hold the key. Need to pay your property tax, motor vehicle certificate of fitness fee, or a traffic ticket? No need to join the line. Go online. Service at your fingertips 24/7. That's right. All these services and more are available online at jamaicatax.gov.jm. Fast, convenient, secure. Visit the How To tab on our website or call 888-TAX-HELP for details. Tax Administration Jamaica, working together to serve you even better.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. David Crosburn had a little more to say. Go ahead, please, Mr. Crosburn.
Yeah, why we should not allow England and the other parties to camouflage us? I'll give you two examples. One, when the Demerara riots in 1823, the British Prime Minister John Gladstone, two of his estates, most of the persons died on his own estate. He could have addressed the situation in Jamaica
That time the Sam Sharp riots in Jamaica did not take place at that time as yet, So he could have said, listen to me, because remember what we are not to lose sight of. The courts in England, both in Scotland and in England, the Lord's Mansfield ruling had said, no, we must not have any slavery. We don't find any real reason in England courts that we can own slaves. And he ignored that, and yet he turned out to be the 5th largest beneficiary from the 20 million, which according to the British Guardian newspaper, in today's value, somewhere about 16 billion pounds. But apart from that, if you at World War II, quickly, England, when the US joined World War II, England designed a code as a camouflage for the entrance of the British troops. It said, in this cupboard, there are 2 cups of sugar in this cupboard. That was to camouflage and send a message to the remaining troops. 2 cups of sugar are in this cupboard. A third situation I'll show you. When the Chinese came and the sugar estate was divested to the 3 sugar estate, Bernal Lodge, Frome, and Money Musk. The British thought China was going to export the sugar to China, the sugar that would be made. They did not realize that the sugar, China had no intention of sending the sugar over on their side to Asia. And would you believe me that quickly they implemented a plan to put the farmers against the Chinese that the sugar should not be exported to them. They do that. They are very, very, I respect them, but they are very, very skillful in presenting camouflage. And we are, as a people, we have to understand this and to see it and stand up against their refusal. Because when King Juan Carlos from Spain came in 2009, and King Juan Carlos addressed our parliament and said he's sorry, and things that we should follow up on as a people. We did not follow up on it. He just come and he said sorry. But if you notice the period of time from King Juan Carlos came and addressed the parliament in 2009 till now, we are at 2023. We have to be thankful to the United Nations for quantifying and coming to that determination that we are to get 6.1 trillion. So we must not flinch until we get this. And if we can't get it, there are other means that we are to use to get ahead and to, rather than, finally, I'll just say, rather than flinching, go steadfast with it, and in going forward, we build bridges rather than build a fence as the British has done. Thank you, and continue to be strong, and to all the best to you and your listeners and to the world. And as Neville was saying, we can get there. And I think one day, if we ensure that none of our people is left there, and we all will get there. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your perspective, as usual, David Crosburn. All the best.
All the very best.
Take care. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112 876-922-4112 The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us as well on WhatsApp. That number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Pastor Evangelist Sandra Fraser, good afternoon to you. Thanks for connecting. Good to have you on board. All the very best. And take care. And let's go to another bit of information here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, on Power 106 FM. And there's a story of another of our athletes. Hudson struggles as Lyles dominates men's 200 meters. Jamaica's Andrew Hudson looks at the monitor after completing the final of the men's 200 meters at the World Athletics Championships in Budapest, Hungary. And so he's one of the athletes featured here. There are so many other stories. You'll perhaps catch up on the sports news a little later on and the online platforms as well, because it's a lot, especially for those of us who haven't been able to really watch the World Championships for various reasons. So we always feel like we have some catching up to do. Pastor Evangelist Sandra Fraser says, thank you, Sir Dervan, Malcolm, and same to you. You're welcome. Thank you, Pastor Evangelist Sandra Fraser. All the best. Continuing with more here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Sophia Nemard, good afternoon to you. Thank you for connecting as usual. Always good to have you on board. Thank you very much. And there, Deanne Murray, good afternoon to you as well. Thank you for tuning in. And keep the messages coming in. 876-922 these are the call-in lines. 876-922-4112-5. That's 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And let's see some of the other messages coming in. Cherry Henry says, good day, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Have a great weekend. Thank you very much, Cherry Henry. And all the very best to you. And keep those comments coming in. 876-365-3346. That's the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. And let's see. Let's go to another call, 876-365-3346. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Uncle Dervan, Malcolm. How are you doing, sir?
Good afternoon. I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm great so far. Good to talk with you guys. How are you guys doing so far? It's been a while.
Indeed, it has.
Yes, I'm great. I'm great so far. It's a rainy Friday afternoon. It's rainy. And the place is very cold.
You're in the corporate area?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, man. I live in a place called Garden.
No, we don't want to know where you live specifically, please. But I was just checking. I was just checking in general terms. Where's the rain falling?
In this area, in Garden Hill and other areas.
Okay.
Okay, I'm here taking it easy. Here, pulling a vibe.
Good for you.
Yes, yeah, okay. And teacher, tell me something, teacher. Let's ask you a question. The other day when I was here and I was talking about radio and television, and I said to myself that how did radio and television create radio programs and television programs? How did they create a program?
They just had an idea and went ahead and pursued the idea. One moment, please. We need to take another break here on both sides of the story.
You can live in this world all by yourself. No, 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 you can't make it alone. Just as sure as you try to make it by yourself, you're gonna wake up and find you're gonna need somebody else.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
No man is an island. No man stands alone. Each man has a brother. And remember.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. Let's go back to the phone lines. Thanks for holding.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Go ahead, please.
And one more thing. I like and television company. Where did they get movies and animated series from? How did they acquired the movies and animated series? I would like to know those things.
Everything starts in the mind. That's where it all starts, in the mind. Everything starts with an idea. The device you're using now is somebody's idea. The building you're in is somebody's idea.
Yeah.
It all starts in the mind.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it starts. Yes?
Hello?
Yes, I'm still here. Because
Hello? I think we lost that call. All right. Thanks for calling anyway. All the best. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5, 876-922-4112 to 5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. Franklin MacDonald in Guelph, Canada, has shared with us some information here, as he is wont to do. And let's see what this is about now. It's taking a while to populate the page. So while that's happening, let's move on and check in a little while from now. 876-922-4112 to 5 are the numbers to call. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And there's a story of back-to-school assistance provided for students registered under Poor Relief Department. And this is where we need the village more than anything else. This is where we need the village, because you see, we cannot afford for our children to be left behind. We cannot afford for our children to be left behind. So whatever we can do, whatever we're able to do, let's do it for the children, because that is likely to be a guarantee of a sustainable future if we invest in our children. And there is no greater investment than the investment in one's development, personal and professional development. And so we want to encourage, as we get ready to make way for the back to school period, and indeed for the resumption of classes, the 2023-2024 academic year. We want to encourage all of us to do the best we can to assist those who are in need and those who lack resources necessary for their tutelage. We want to give them all the support possible so that they will excel. And if they excel, everybody wins. Everybody wins. That's the idea. So if you know of a child or children who are having issues, or parents or guardians having issues in finding the means of securing a quality education, then get some assistance. Speak with the guidance counselors. Speak with the representatives of the alumni associations, the past students associations. You make sure you're plugged into these organizations as far as support is concerned, support for the children. So let us play our part to ensure that we have a sustainable future. So that's the story coming from the Gleaner online, jamaica-gleaner.com. Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie addressing a recent ceremony to officially open the Ocho Rios Night Shelter in St. Anne. And he spoke about back-to-school assistance provided for students registered under Poor Relief Department. Now to this attachment, this link that was shared with us by Franklin MacDonald in Guelph, Canada. It seems to be quite active, quite live, and that it's an indication of a high level of precipitation. It's either raining now or will be raining. I mean, of course, we don't know what's happening outside. Such is the nature of the studio. We can't see what's happening outside. But looking at this radar, this Kingston radar, we can tell that there's an area of unstable weather across the southern sections of the island and also the southeast. 112-5-876-922-4. The Economist tells us El Nino has started. Preparations must too. It will bring chaotic weather to much of the world. El Nino and global warming are mixing in alarming and unpredictable ways. Other stories making The Economist: AI could fortify big business, not end it. Post-COVID American children are still missing far too much school. There are so many stories here. Britain's failed experiment in boosting low-wage sectors. Argentina is pushing international lending to its breaking point. Bindeshoa Patak realized that India's future depended on toilets. That's another story. Why China's economy won't be fixed. Prigozhin's death shows that Russia is a mafia. Time magazine Europe. Just looking at a couple of the recent issues, but it's a lot of ground to cover. And there are some stories we have identified to follow up on as well. All right, so let's see. Cuban in Georgia says, Sir Malcolm, what happened to the back-to-school treat the Dons used to provide? Now the Dons are gone. Who's filling that vacuum to help our school kids? That's easy. Law-abiding citizens have filled that gap. Law-abiding citizens. There's your answer, Cuban in Georgia. Thank you very much, and all the very best as we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website. Go-Jamaica for 11225 876-922-411225. And Franklin MacDonald is still sharing. He has something else for us here. Let's see what he has. Taking a while to load, as usual. Not sure why. Here we go. weather radar with live map for Cuba. Oops, look at the time. Let's take the break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
13 minutes to 5 o'clock.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
All by yourself. No, 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 you can't make it too low. Just as sure as you try to make it by yourself, you're gonna wake up and fall.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. The Caribbean Examinations Council having released the results, the CSEC and CAPE results, a lot of children, a lot of students, we should say, and their parents and guardians and other family members have been making sure that they get a hold of the data to see how their charges did, how their children have done and are doing. So we wish them well. There seems to be some indication of some level, maybe not very significant, but some level of better. I'm putting it that way. Some level of better, because there's better and there's better. But just to say that there are signs of some improvements, and it means we have to build on those and identify the learning techniques that are necessary to make those small steps into leaps, giant leaps. And let's just do it for the children, just as though we're trying to support them to make sure they can go back to school and have all the resources they need. So too, we must support the efforts within the school system so that, as we have been saying, no child is left behind. How about that? Let's do it. As we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. And still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well, 876-365-3346. And more speculations with respect to what really happened, with respect to Prigozhin. Explosion likely brought down aircraft purportedly carrying Wagner boss. Flight data and video analysis suggest. Also, Ukrainian forces appear to be making headway on the front lines in Zaporizhia. And there's a story of Trump, Donald Trump. Someone is saying, I don't think he gets it. Attorney responds to Trump's remark after arrest. So there's a lot happening in the world, not least of all right here in Jamaica. And coming up, of course, major news at 5, so that we can catch up on the very latest stories. In the meantime, we want to remind parents and guardians to be careful as they go about spending this weekend. This is is it this weekend or next weekend, in terms of, I think one more weekend after this before the resumption of school. And we want to encourage parents and guardians to use the opportunity to engage in group shopping. You're likely to benefit from some discount or another because of that group approach. So whether members of your household, members of your community, the idea is to be able to benefit from some discounts, etc. So there is that. And also, we want to be mindful of how we go about in the shopping environment, that we're very careful, and that we have a level of awareness as we move around, because people know that there's a lot of cash moving from hand to hand, and they're going to position themselves to get a piece of the action, as it were. You don't want to just give away your money like that, do you? So be mindful that there are those, while we will be shopping for back to school items legitimately and legally, unfortunately, others will be doing otherwise, trying to take what is not theirs. So we need to be mindful as we move about in the shopping environment as well. Violet White says, I noticed quite a few teachers are leaving Jamaica. The US seems to be giving them a chance to come here. Well, this has been going on for some time, Violet White, and it's not limited to teachers at all. We are human beings, we are people, and we're always seeking opportunities. We're always seeking to pursue other opportunities. And that's exactly what we will continue to do. Always looking for better. Even when we have found it and not even realizing that we have found better. You get the picture. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Friday, the 25th of August, 2023. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, both sides of the story returns Monday afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm inviting you to join us Saturday morning on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online from 6 to 9, if you're able to. Other than that, feel free to stay in bed and get some rest. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
And each man as a friend. You can live in this world all by yourself. No, no, you can't make it too low. Just as sure as you try to make it by yourself, you're gonna wake up and find you're gonna need somebody else. No man is an island. Oh yeah. No man stands alone. Each man has a brother. And remember, each man's dream has your own. You can live in this world all by yourself. No, you can't make it alone. Just as sure as you try to make it by yourself, you're gonna wake up and find you're gonna need somebody else. No man is an island. No man stands alone. Each man has a brother and a member. Each man's dream has your own. No man is an island.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.